Erik Peterson, a novice journalist from a small newspaper in Boston, always dreamed of big adventures and sensational stories. He got a chance he couldn't pass up a trip to France to cover local legends about ghosts and mysterious events. The first stop on his list was Martin Vast Castle, an ancient fortress with a rich history located in Normandy. Erik was thrilled at the opportunity to visit a place with such a dark past. According to legend, Martin Vast Castle was haunted by the spirit of a lady with a wide-open black mouth, who once was the mistress of the castle and became a victim of a terrible betrayal. He didn't believe in ghosts, but he hoped to create an intriguing story for his readers. Martin Vast Castle loomed before him in grim majesty. The ivy-covered walls seemed to wrap around his heart, awakening an inexplicable anxiety. Erik entered the castle through ancient gates that creaked as if complaining about his presence. Inside, silence reigned, broken only by the echo of his footsteps. Ascending a creaky staircase, Erik reached the room locals called the Ladies' Room. Legend had it that this was where the ghost was often seen. The room was cold and empty, with only old furniture covered in thick dust standing as silent witnesses to times long past. Erik set up his camera and began recording.
This is Erik Peterson, and I'm in Martin Vast Castle.
He began, hoping to catch any movement or sound.
Today, I will try to find out if the legends about the lady with the black mouth are true.
Night fell quickly, plunging the castle into even greater darkness. Time passed and nothing unusual happened. Erik was beginning to lose patience when he suddenly felt a cold draft as if someone had walked past him. He froze, listening to the sounds. Suddenly he heard a faint rustling. He turned around but saw no one.
Who's there?
He called out, trying not to reveal the tremor in his voice. Only silence answered him. Erik felt the hairs on the back of his neck start to stand up. He turned on his flashlight and directed the beam of light deeper into the room. For a second, it seemed to him that he saw the figure of a woman in a long dress. She stood still, looking straight at him. But when he blinked, the figure was gone. Erik felt his heart start to beat faster. He approached the spot where he had seen the woman and suddenly noticed something shiny on the floor. It was an old mirror, cracked and dusty. He picked it up and, looking at his reflection, saw a shadow behind him. He turned around sharply but saw no one again.
Enough,
he said to himself, deciding he needed to get some fresh air. But as he headed for the exit, the room's doors slammed shut with a loud crack. Erik rushed to the door, trying to open it, but it wouldn't budge. Suddenly the room filled with cold and Erik heard heavy breathing. He turned around and saw her, the woman with the wide-open black mouth. Her eyes were empty, and her mouth opened in a silent scream of horror. She began to slowly approach him.
No!
Erik screamed, rushing to the window. He broke the glass, and without thinking about the consequences, jumped outside. Erik awoke on the grass at the foot of the castle, covered in blood and shards of glass. He was alive, but could barely believe what had happened. Struggling to his feet, he ran away from the castle without looking back. Later, safe in his hotel room, Erik reviewed the footage from his camera. The video showed the room, but the lady's ghost never appeared on the tape. The only things he heard were his own scream and the sound of breaking glass. But Erik knew that what he had seen was real. All that night at Martin Vast Castle changed him forever. Now he knew the world was full of mysteries that defy logic and rational explanation. But what scared him the most was the thought that the ghost of the lady with the black mouth might only be the beginning. For who knows what other secrets ancient castles hold and what might await him on his next assignment.